So we move on to the next one, which is more consolation than anything else at this point, but Fiji Samoa, Islanders clash. It'll be good. Nice little war dance. We'll have the little standoff at the start of the game will be good. Two of them doing it.
The Sipi Tau, and I wish I could remember the Fijian name of the Fijian whatever you would call it, the tribal challenge,
war dance,
cultural challenge. I guess is the way to call it.
I don't know. It's on the tip of my tongue.
No,
I always love when
I love when they do it simultaneously.
Yeah, me too. I was going to say that. I wonder if they do go simultaneously or they take turns.
When Samoa and Tonga did it, they took turns. Yeah, the atmosphere has been sucked out of them. It was best when they were like crossing the halfway line, meeting each other. That's a real war.
That's what you want.
As far as this game is concerned, Fiji are going to be it's reffed by Brendan Pickrell, who I don't know. It's odd to get a ref you don't know. That's going to be in ANZ Stadium in Suva as well, and it's going to be Saturday morning at 8:15 a.m.
Right. Irish time again.
Always.
Yes. Yeah, kind of have to clarify that for each of the individual videos.
Yeah.
But yes, it's always Irish time when we're talking about it.
For no good reason.
For no good reason, but other than that, we're Irish, so it's our time. I expect Fiji will win this.
Yep.
But they were like Samoa. Like I'm looking for. I want them to pick like Sayateni at 10 for one thing. Like not less experimental side. I'd like to see both full sides, to be honest, going at it in the last round.
I heard John McKee say in advance of this round, I heard he was saying that it's another chance to experiment with some stuff and test some combinations. But I mean, they've had 4 games now.
Yeah.
Like, they're almost there. I think I would love to see what the full time is. I'm curious to see if it's still Vula 10 or if Matavesi did enough last week.
I don't think he did.
I definitely think Bhatia and Radradra and the centre.
Those are your centres.
I think Tuasova on the right wing, Vitakani at fullback, and on the other wing you have stuff to play with. You know, you can maybe go. I would love to see Patrick Osborne get the go.
He's been good, for them since he came. He came on the other week. It was very solid showing.
You could have Gonava either. There's
Gonava has not been involved yet. We haven't seen
Gonava.
Yeah.
I thought last week's back row that played Canada is their full back row. So I think that was Yato and Mata and your man whose name escapes me at 7, who's been very good.
Yeah, no, he's been awesome. He was awesome against Japan, even when they were losing as well. He had some serious carries.
Amazing plays in him.
Yato was excellent last week as well. Now that you mention him, he was absolutely awesome and grabbed his try as well. But
Nakarawa in the row as well. So they more or less have that full settled team. Now it would be nice to see them try and gel. And I think likewise with Samoa. I think last week there was a hodgepodge team. Sayateni, this young lad who looked so good.
In the mud.
He looked so good in the mud. Give him a dry track and let's see what he can do. He could be
the answer for them.
Hope, beacon of hope for Samoa. Get him in there, put him in the 10
Once
jersey.
he's in the 10 jersey, it means that your Nanai Williams has more free reign from 15 once he's back. Obviously he's not back for this week, unfortunately, but come World Cup time, frees him up to not be bearing the responsibility of playing 10 where he really doesn't belong. He's more appropriate in the outside channels. And give Sayateni a chance.
Absolutely.
But I'm curious to see. We obviously don't have the teams because we're shooting this on Monday evening. But I'm hopeful that they kind of go out there all guns blazing for the last round and try and pick their full sides and smash into each other and get ready for the World Cup.
Yeah, I think that there's a touch of too much cuteness going on.
You want to be a bit careful about that. Yeah. Toying with combinations and tinkering the whole time just means that nothing's settled. You want things settled by the time you get to the World Cup.
Totally. So it's time to start implementing that, and Samoa especially for that. Kunatani is the name of that.
Kunatani, thank you. Yes.
Grant, for Samoa, I'm less sure of what their full side is going to look like. Amosa or Fasaele at number 8, Fasaele captained them very nicely last week. Amosa obviously had a good first week's showing. I thought Johnny Vaili was one of the funnier stories of the game. He had an up and down go of it. The Sevens lad, he was taking all their restarts and they weren't going well for him because he was the restart specialist from the Sevens game.
Yes.
And then he had that try that was chalked off by Nige in the opening half. And
that was a bad black mark against Nige, to be honest, because that came off the boot.
And coulda, woulda, shoulda cost them the game, but for just how poor they were in the second half. Loads of drops, couldn't get outside the US defence. It looked hopeless. It looked so much worse than it did against Tonga. passes weren't sticking, drops were happening, and it wasn't even that muddy.
Yeah.
And it was very, very strange to see them.
There was very little flow to their back line at all. Actually, I thought whatever they were doing with their selection just that time, it was
even Leu to the wing is wrong.
Yeah, no, that was wrong too. He was out of place over
Lilo
there.
and Leu and the centre is beautiful, and they've got to stick with their full team now. And if they do that, there is hope for them to get some plays off against Fiji
for sure. Fiji are loose enough, even though like they have been priding their goal line defence and working on it diligently, but there's still tries there. Ask Japan about it, and Samoa like to play a little fast and loose game as well. There's potential for this to be an absolute cracker.
Yeah, and there's a potential for it to be more useful. I mean, you get Chris Fui back into that side, you get TJ Ioane and Amosa maybe making up that back row, and then you get Lilo and Leu in the centre, all, and say Tenny crucially at 10. Then all of a sudden you get a team that's going to cause Fiji some problems. It's going to cause their loose forwards some problems. It's going to cause maybe their defence some problems, and it proves a proper test for John McKee's defence.
Yeah.
Not the crazy unstoppable test that Japan provided, but a decent test that'll show them where they're at. Can we stop what is a competent,
physical,
pretty much high level? Like, but they're all playing pro rugby in Europe. Lilo and Leu and all of those guys, they're very, very solid players.
Yeah.
Can the defence shut that down as it was doing, prior to that Japan game? Yes. I think that would be something that Fiji would hope for.
Yeah.
And then more is the point to just get that offense going.
Definitely. Yeah. And they have much more. So they have much more to offer than what they showed last week. It was rather Samoa.
Samoa. But Fiji getting that offense going.
Fiji need to try and get that offense going. I think they will. To be honest, I suspect Fiji will just about have too much for them. I'm just wondering who they end up going with. I'd love to see, like, Radradra was great last week. In fact, that Fiji performance last week was lovely, a lovely showing. Just like, granted, and it can't be understated, Canada are rubbish. Yeah, they are the worst team in this comp, and possibly the worst team in the World Cup. Yeah, they're so far behind where they need to be that it's pathetic. But one thing that will please. A few things will please Fiji. Radradra performed impeccably well, bar one penalty he gave away for hitting a man without the ball. Some hit that it was, but that was the only black mark on what was a flawless display. He was just like effortlessly getting over the game line, getting his hands free. When he wanted to, he was making stuff happen on defence. He was big and strong, so it was great to see him back in there. The other thing though, things like their offensive scrum, they were scrumming for penalties very effectively, granted against Canada, but still not a traditional.
That's been improving. That has been improving,
exactly. But also their maul, offensive and defensive. There was a great sequence of play of around 10 minutes in the second half where Canada were just bullishly drilling it to get a penalty, drill it to the corner, try a maul, refuse to put the ball to the back of the maul, get swallowed up, then clear the lines, then eventually end up with a penalty again, come back down. It was a series of around four in a row where they just did the same thing and they would not move it out. They had nothing else, and it was like the commentators were incredulous, going like, would you try even like a switch ball off 12 or something? I don't know, like just do something else, like try something different. But quoting Einstein, going, what is insanity? But then the Fiji response was not only to shut down every single one of them, and each time it was a different player getting his hands on the ball and trapping it, but it was the same story. And then they went up the other end of the field and scored a maul try, which is excellent. Like, that'll be very, very satisfying stuff for Fiji.
It caused much chagrin amongst the Canadian
even like the kindly Canadians were getting raucous at that point. That was the closest they were getting to a fracas. It still didn't break out, like, they're still Canada. That was definitely salt into the wound. They were already a beaten team at that point, but that was a very, very good sequence of Fiji play, that even though they weren't scoring a bar that one try, but while they were defending those mauls, it was just they looked so comfortable and confident, whereas Canada were floundering.
Defence is definitely looking better for Fiji. Maul better, scrum better, line out better. Offense still as crazy as ever,
impeccable as ever.
The only question, one of the lingering questions that they have to answer, is what they're going to go for at halfback. I thought Senioli, outside of the try conceding mess in the first half, had a very good game. Ran the game quite nicely.
I thought they were just impatient in the first half last week. They were throwing things recklessly, and then when they came out in the second half, that changed and the performance improved. But for the first half, they were just throwing everything everywhere, because they were figuring, this is Canada, we'll just score tries from anywhere, which probably was the right way to be thinking, but they were just getting one or two steps ahead of not being accurate enough. And then coughing up intercept tries as a result.
Well, that was a bad error by Signoli. I thought he went well outside of that.
Yeah.
I thought Madawalu off the bench had a big turnover at one point, which was massive.
Yeah, surprising stuff.
And he's obviously, like, we've got to know him for years, watching him in Glasgow.
Yeah.
He can play on the wing as well, and he's a very exciting player, very useful off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously the incumbent, Frank Lamani, who's been a rock star as well,
mm-hmm.
gives them a real headache at scrum half. And at 10, it's been Ben Volavola. There hasn't been much threat to him. Vitakani playing in there for a game didn't really work against the Maori. But the potential for Josh Matavesi, who I thought had a very solid game. There were some lovely little attacking structures and screen sets that were executed flawlessly by Matavesi.
True.
That opened up the space. I thought for Mata's try, that little double screen.
I thought
really nice.
His passing game was great. His kicking game would be my only concern about starting him at 10. His left peg is not great, and his kickoffs weren't great either.
Right, yeah.
But that's the only black mark.
The trade-off.
This is it.
Matavesi or Volavola. So you're thinking still Volavola?
Probably just.
And at scrummy? Do you have an answer? Lamani, Signoli, Matawalu? Probably not Matawalu to start.
Probably Lamani. And I think Matawalu is probably the bottom of that pecking order, bar you want him on the bench for certain games. So it depends the opposition. But I don't know how many scrummies they intend to bring either.
They'll bring 3. I'd say they'll bring 3. 3 and 2 10s.
Yeah. Definitely, they're all very, very useful players in different ways. I like Matawalu off the bench as an option for a lot of things.
Not to mention you can cover the wing.
Exactly. That kind of flexibility will serve him well. But and I think Lamani is still most solid. Links well.
They still haven't looked better than they did on the opening game against the Maori.
No.
They still, this season, they haven't found quite that level that they did on the opening day.
No. And that's unfortunate for them because it means that they're not going to win the PNC. But bigger picture, they're going to the World Cup with serious intentions in a group of death. They have serious aspirations.
Nightmarish death.
Yeah, it's pretty horrendous. Like even the bottom rung, Uruguay are dangerous.
They totally are.
Comparatively.
Uruguay, speaking of Canada, the Uruguay smashed them home and away in qualifying.
This is it. There's definitely danger there. It's an exciting group, but they really are building very well. They have such a squad that I hope it goes well for them. I did see in that first half just hints of how it could go wrong for them, just the frenetic impatience of it costing them. And you know that if they had just held on a few seconds more, the break probably would have come, but they were flicking the pass anyway.
Maybe that's what the Lamani Volavola halfback pairing gives them.
A bit more assuredness and control.
Body at 12.
Body at 12 is another one. He was noted for his absence. He's been huge. Even in the loss to Japan, I thought he was very good. I think Bodia and Radradra ideally are your centre partnership, and I'd love to see them together.
Naya Salevu has fallen out of grace after that Japanese performance.
Yeah, he was a bit all over the place there, but then a lot of them were all caught out by just the speed of that, which then it's not the first one that's happened to. I doubt it'll be the last. Hopefully it doesn't happen to Ireland in the World Cup.
No, indeed. But we're comfortable saying that at home Fiji should get this done against Samoa.
In Suva, I think so.
The best of the islands.
They are the best of the islands. And Samoa are very good too. They're not to get me wrong. They were not against the US, but I know that they are. They have more to offer than Tonga for sure. In terms of just they have a proper squad as well, and they can play some footy too. So I expect that to be quite an entertaining game. To be honest, that's if I was to pick
if the weather holds up.
I would watch those two, the US.
Well, you and everybody else in the world.
Indeed, those will be the two. Thank you very much for watching that video. If it's your first time here, please leave a like and subscribe down below, and leave a comment as well if you enjoyed it, because we enjoyed the conversation.